Cliff swallow banding is such a wonderful yearly event. It's something I love to do every year. And it's very special for the students too. I never get tired of it because it's such a hands-on activity, which is wonderful for kids, but I'm just a big kid.
So you look around above you to see if there's any tree branches. You have to make sure that there's enough space.
Okay, we need 2 6-meter nets. Before World War II, when we were banding birds, we had different metal traps, cage traps. We didn't have mist nets. And then after World War II, we discovered the Japanese in the rural areas were using mist nets to catch birds. Shelf strings are closer together and we have better pockets. They tend to hold the birds better. Putting the top pole on because we're dropping the net down, so we need to have a 10-foot. So I'm taping it like this. When the net is all set up and ready to go, then we lift it up off the rods and carry it over and drop it in front of the opening, the culvert opening, and the swallows fly into it then. That holds each loop in the exact position so it doesn't slip. What I'd like you to do is when you're ready, when you see that we're in place and you're ready to drop, just wave. Let me kind of pull you. That keeps the net tight.
Okay.
Like you're always resisting. And hold the net up so it doesn't get in the grass. Pull it up a little bit. They're flying over the top of it. Yeah, that's good.
So what happens here is when a bird flies into the net, they fly in from one side or the other side. And they fly in and then they drop down and they make a little pocket here. And usually they fly in head first, so they get their head stuck. And then when we come, we have to look and say, nope, not in that pocket. Oh, it's in this pocket. And then we pull them out backwards. And that's how you get them out of the net. So to get a bird out, you look for that to be bare, and then you slowly pull it off the head and wings.
What to be bare?
The rump and the rear end. And usually their feet always cause lots of problems. I've got a bird out of the net, and I'm now gonna go put them in our pods over there, which is where we keep the birds before we band them. So basically what the pod is it's a bowl that we put some cage over the bottom of, and then we attach a sleeve to it. So when we put a bird in, we take the bird, we just drop it down into the cage, and then we twist this and fold that over, and now we've got a bird in the cage.
Okay, little guy. The students are very good about learning how to take the birds out of the net. Well, this is the main bird banding box. I've had this for over 70 years. This box has a lot of memories and it has a lot of miscellaneous things that we might need. Like this is how if we get a bird and we don't know what size band it should have, we can measure and find out by where the leg fits best in the notch what size band it. Like size 1 band here is what we're using on cliff swallows, would be this notch here. And it has all kinds of stuff in it. Special pliers and or permits. And oh, hummingbird bands. These are 100 hummingbird bands right there. They have to cut those out with a Swiss Army knife, scissors. What I have here. Those are tiny little bands. Then you cut them out and roll them over a paper clip, which is about the size of a hummingbird leg.
So these are the eagle bands, and you can see that they're quite a bit larger than the bands that we're using, which are this big. So we've never actually, or I've never used one of these, but Oak has them, just in case we accidentally catch a bald eagle. We almost caught a kestrel at one point. It flew into our net and it ripped a big hole in the net, but it got free, unfortunately.
Okay. Here's your band, Claire. Great thing about banding is that because there's a 4-digit number and a 5-digit number, this is a unique license plate. No other bird in North America has this band number. So if this bird shows up anywhere else, we know it's that bird. I had a female red-winged blackbird I banded in Wyoming at A-Bar A Ranch. 5 years later, I caught her at our banding station here in Boulder. Now, the chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1, but the band number doesn't lie.
What's the oldest bird you've ever caught?
Our record on cliff swallows is 9 years.
Wow.
Which is pretty good. That's 9 round trips to South America and back.
How old do cliff swallows live to be in the wild?
The record is 13 years. One that was banded as a young one, juvenile. It came back 13 years later. This year we have banded 1,035 already. So somebody writes down, in this case Claire's going to write down the new birds as we band.
You write down the date, the location, and then the prefix and suffix on the band. And so we keep track of that too. And then there's a species code for every kind of bird. So cliff swallows is CLSW.
So the next number, Claire, should be 32537. Is that right? Okay.
That is correct.
Give that to Cody. These pliers open the band this way. There, it's about the right. I put it in there, and it's ready to put on the bird. We try and band the birds right with the band right side up and on the right foot. We try and be consistent about it. Okay, I got a bird here. This is a male. Are you ready for a bird? Cody to band.
So now when we band the birds, we take one leg, we hold it out, and then we put the band right there. And so to keep the band facing upright, this points towards the bird. And we simply stick it on there and close the band, just like that. And then we use these pliers to adjust the band. We adjust the band so that we can't have any grass or something getting in there and stopping them from flying. So this band needs a little bit of adjustment.
Sometimes they're not lined up.
And then he's good to go. I like handling the animals because birds are an animal that you never get to see up close. They're not like a dog where you can go pet them. So I really like the experience of being able to actually hold the bird and examine the bird close up. You can feel the feathers and the heat, and you can even hear the heartbeat on the bird if you hold it up to your ear. So it's very neat.
Diddle, 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 diddle. That's the heartbeat of a bird. It's a little bit cattywampus, a little bit not quite lined up, so I'm going to do that. And then there's a nice, what we call a really perfect closure. You want a good closure on the band, so It's a perfect bracelet and lasts for their lifetime. My biology teacher, he had me banding birds when I was 13 years old. So, and then when I was 18, I got my own permit. I was old enough to have my own permit. Yeah. Very fast. I wish I could get that on camera. Okay, this one's ready to fly. Away it goes. Okay. Nice brood patch. Ready to fly.
There's a choo-choo train.
We have 5 birds left to band. Nope. 58 is that?
Should be.
I'd say 59 is a female. So, but it is, I must say, I do definitely notice when spring is approaching and birds are beginning to sing, and I think, well, it's time for cliff swallows to come back from Argentina. And they do, every year.
Oak has changed my outlook on the environment, and now I'm fighting to protect it.
He's very inspirational in that he's in his 80s and he still does this and he still has a fun time. And that's pretty amazing.
What's a good bird song?
Meadowlark? Or you mean like song about
Oh, yeah, meadowlark. Or a crow. Or let's see, a screech owl. That's a pretty good variety.